Hello everyone. Today we will learn how to add new Pipedrive activities to Pipedrive deals on reaching a certain stage. Now, if you have created certain deals in Pipedrive, you might know that there are many stages to that deal. And you want that every time a deal stage is updated, an activity has to be created inside that deal. But since these are the features of one complete application, you might have to do the work of creating that activity in a deal manually. But let me tell you, we can actually automate this process. We will integrate these two features in such a way that our trigger will be a deal stage updated in your Pipedrive deal that has already been created, and your action will be the new activity added in your Pipedrive inside this deal only. Let us learn how to do it. So today we will learn how to add new Pipedrive activities to Pipedrive deals reaching certain stages. So we are going to use Pipedrive, the CRM application where you can enter all the details about your deals, your leads, your activities, etc. So for example, you have created a new deal. For example, we are taking into consideration this deal where the stages of the contact made. Okay, these are the different stages, the 5 stages of Pipedrive as you can see. Qualified, contact made, demo scheduled, proposal made and negotiations started. So if we take in consideration the deal where the contact has been already made, now we want to update the stage of this deal to demo scheduled. And for doing that, as soon as this stage is updated, you want to add an activity in this deal to make a call to remind the XYZ person for the demo that has been scheduled. Okay, so that activity has to be added every time manually. But today we are going to learn how to do it using Pabbly Connect. As you can see that this is the landing page of Pabbly, and on the right hand top corner there are 2 options available: sign up for free and sign in. If you don't have an existing account, you have to click on sign up for free. Because I'm having one, I will click on sign in. That will take me to the login page of Pabbly where I will just click on sign in with Google because I'm already having an account, and I will be taken to this window where I can see all the applications provided by Pabbly. Today we are going to use Pabbly Connect for the automation we are going to create. So click on access now, and then I will reach the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. Here, in order to create a fresh workflow from scratch, we click on the big blue button on the right hand side that's written create workflow, and then give a name to this workflow. Because we are going to add new activity to Pipedrive deals, so I'm going to name it the same, click on create, and then a blank workflow will be created for you. 2 windows will appear in front of you, or better say 2 boxes where trigger and action is written on each of them. Now, what is a trigger and action? A trigger is when this happens, which means it's somewhat like an event that will take place in your trigger application, or you can say your first application. And then as soon as that event or that trigger takes place, this workflow will work in the direction of the action application, and whatever action event you are going to assign, that is going to be performed by that particular application. So today our trigger application will be Pipedrive. Select your trigger application and then select the trigger event. Now we just discussed the whole motive of this workflow, that the deal has already been created. You don't have to create a new deal, but you have to update the stage of the deal that is already existing. Okay, so you will just select the event as update stage. There are many events. You can just type update stage over here. You have selected. And now you have to connect your Pipedrive and your Pabbly Connect account. For that, make sure you have your account open in a different tab. Click on connect, add new connection, and then it will ask you for an API token. So you can find the API token by logging to your Pipedrive account. We have already done that. Now we go to settings, personal preferences, and then API. So you go to your account. On the top right corner, you see settings, personal preferences, and then the API is over here. So generate a new token, a fresh token for a fresh workflow. Go back to your Pabbly Connect account and just paste it over here. Click on save, and your accounts have been connected. Now comes another important step, that is entering the company domain. For that, you need to understand what is a company domain. Company domain is more like a recognition that you get about that website from the URL. Okay, for example, here it's given Pabbly Connect is the company domain. From the URL that's given down here, see, in this URL, before the dot and after the slash is your company domain. So you go back to your Pipedrive account and see, if you select this part, then after the slash and before the dot, this part is your company domain. You copy it from here and paste it in your company domain field. And then we have to click on save and send test request. Okay, so see, when you click on it or when you just put your cursor on it, it tells you what it is going to do is whatever values or whatever changes we are going to make in this account, this trigger application, that will be captured instantly by Pabbly Connect. Okay, so you click on save and send test request, go back to your Pipedrive account and then update the stage of the deal. Now since we have updated it to the proposal being made, so that we have made the proposal, you go back to your Pabbly Connect and check the response has been received. So this is the response that we have received over here. The currency, the amount and every other detail has been entered. The name and all is there. So now the important part that you need to check is the stage ID, which means that how can we understand in this response that a stage has been updated. So see, the previous details are over here, and then if you scroll down, you will get the current details, like stage ID is given over here. Previous stage ID is 3. See, our previous stage ID was here, the third step. Okay, so the IDs are given like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 stages, so you are given 5 stages. Now it was third earlier, and if you come down to the current stage ID, it will show you the current stage ID as 4. Now because it is updated to 4. Okay, so now this means that this part is complete, our trigger is complete. Our next step is going to be adding activity, but before that, remember that you want a specific change for a specific stage. Like earlier the demo was scheduled, okay, but now the proposal has already been made, and now what you want to do is you want to send a reminder or send the details of the proposal that has been made. You have to create the activity of sending the details of the reminder, the proposal. So what you will do is that you will add a filter over here. Okay, filter is a feature by Pabbly Connect itself. There is no different way of connecting it to Pabbly Connect because it is a feature built inside Pabbly Connect. Okay, here you have to select the label, which means that where you want to put the filter. We want to put the filter in which part of the workflow? In the stage. So see, here you have to do a little bit of mapping. Now what you have to do over here is you have to enter the part of this response where this filter has to work. Okay, in what way you have to map that place? You have to map the current ID, the current stage ID. How? That the current stage ID right now is 4. Okay, so it should be equal to 4 only. Then only when the current ID turns out to be 4 in your deal, then only this workflow will move ahead and then an activity will be added. So we will choose the current stage ID. Just type it and you can open it over here. Current stage ID is 4. Okay, this current stage ID should be equal to the value of 4. Okay, right now it is equal to 4, which means that every time it is equal to 4, this workflow will proceed successfully. If the current stage ID comes out to be 1, 2, 3 or 5, then this workflow is not for that situation. So you just click on save and send test request and see success, the condition is true, which means right now in this scenario, this workflow will proceed. First of all, save this step and then move ahead with the activity step. So you just choose the application again as Pipedrive because obviously we are working inside Pipedrive only. Then you have to create an activity. So create activity. This way an activity will be created inside this specific deal only. Okay, so now what you will do is just connect, and now you don't have to add a new connection because in this workflow you have already added Pipedrive to Pabbly Connect. So just click on select existing connection and save. It is automatically connected. All right, so what will be the subject of the whole deal or the activity that you're going to add? So subject you might have to add on your own. It has to be a static data. We need not do any mapping over here because when we were creating the deal or updating the stage of that deal, there was no detail added about the activity. So we must write send details of the proposal. Okay, this is the subject of the activity. Organization, you have to select the organization that you entered over here. So the organization is Pabbly 11. So you will choose in the whole list, where is Pabbly 11? This is Pabbly 11. Okay, the name of the assigner and the person is test user. You can see over here, test user is the person. Okay, now deal ID you have to enter. Deal ID has to be the current ID of your deal. Okay, so because we did not retrieve any kind of deal ID in this step, so but we were having the current ID of this deal, that is this 41. Okay, so what are we going to do is we are going to map this deal from there itself. You type current ID and then select this one. This is your deal ID. Okay, now is it done? No, it's not done yet. The type is task. You can assign the type accordingly. It's a call, a meeting, a task, a deadline, whichever. So it is just a task to send the details of the proposal done. Okay, there is no due date or due time over here. You can just enter the note over here. You can enter send documents along with the details. Okay, so this is done. Now just click on save and send test request, and now we will check. So the first thing we will see over here is success, that our workflow has been a success. All the details that we just entered have been here recorded properly, and we will just save this workflow. And then we will go back to our Pipedrive deal and see if the activity has been created. And yes, here you can see the activity, send details of the proposal. Just today we have created the name, the organization name and the detail. Here it is showing 2 times because we clicked on save and send test request 2 times. So like the activity has been added over here, which means our workflow went successfully. Okay, so we will just close all the tabs and see that what did we just learn in the workflow. So our workflow was in 3 steps, our trigger, then a filter, and then the action step. Our trigger and action both were Pipedrive because we were working in the application, but our trigger was to update a deal. We connected the accounts, entered the company domain, captured the response, and then we entered filter by Pabbly. Now what filter does is that you have to enter some label that what you want to put filter at, and that should be equal to what value that Pabbly Connect is going to filter. And then in this case, it was a success because yes, the current stage matched the value that we wanted. So this was true. And now this will be applicable every time a new deal is added over here and the stage is updated to the 4th stage. The ID should be 4. Then it was our action application, again Pipedrive, to create an activity, and then we entered certain details over here. Remember not to forget the deal ID. It will help you to forward this detail of creating an activity to the specific deal over here. There is no due date or due time for that, and we entered the note if you want to enter any note for the activity, and we clicked on save and send test request, saved the workflow, and then checked that yes, an activity was created. So this was the whole workflow. I hope this helped. Not just these applications, but you can integrate many other applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any issue regarding Pabbly, you can email us at support@pabbly.com. You can ask your queries at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any doubts regarding our pricing, then you can connect us through this given website. If you found this video helpful in any way, then make sure to share this with your friends and colleagues to make their life easier by creating automations. We will meet in the next video. Till then, do not forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.